What's up, my comic comrades? As we promised in the History of Peacemaker episode, today we're breaking down the comic book Origin of Bloodsport, which is another major character making his big screen debut in the Suicide Squad movie, played by the great Idris Elba. I love that dude. He's one of my favorite actors. Anyway, much like all the other characters James Gunn decided to use for the Suicide Squad movie, Bloodsport is a D-list DC character that few people outside of diehard comic book fans knew of up until recently. But that's what these episodes are for. We're going to bring you up to speed on the comic book version of Bloodsport before you hit the theater this weekend. And speaking of going to the theater, we want to thank NordVPN for sponsoring today's episode. What does NordVPN have to do with movie theaters, you might ask? Well, I don't know about you, but when I'm sitting there waiting for my movie to start, I find myself connecting to public Wi-Fi networks so I could scroll social media or even my email. NordVPN keeps all your internet data safe behind a wall of next-generation encryption, and adding to that security, Nord has a strict no-logs policy, which means they don't track, collect, or share my private data, which combined keeps my internet life on lockdown. And if you haven't already, you should go to nordvpn.com/variant right now to secure your digital self as well. Setting up NordVPN is crazy simple, and once you create your account and turn it on, NordVPN hides your IP address wherever you're online by redirecting your connection through one of Nord's 5,200 plus remote servers in 60 countries worldwide. You can switch between servers in seconds, which gives you the ability to enjoy the internet without limits or borders, including access to hundreds of streaming platforms worldwide. But NordVPN also gives you access to a ton of other great features too, like P2P large file sharing, dedicated IP availability, a kill switch to make sure your data is protected non-stop, up to 6 simultaneous connections, and 24/7 customer support. And with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee, you could check them out for yourself risk-free. So again, head over to nordvpn.com/variant or click our link in the description now, and Nord will hook you up with a huge discount on a 2-year plan. You'll also get an additional 4 months for free, but only when you go to our unique link, nordvpn.com/variant. So take control of your internet life with NordVPN. You can thank us later. But now, my friends, my comic comrades, it's time to dig into the comic book origin of Bloodsport. Bloodsport first appeared in Superman Volume 2, Issue 4 in April of 1987. He was created by John Byrne and Carl Kessel. As for his origin, it goes as follows. During the Vietnam War, a man by the name of Robert Dubois was drafted into the US military. Dubois didn't want to go, and when he received his draft notice, he ran to Canada. Now, some of you may be asking, why didn't he want to fight for his country? Was he against the war? No, he wasn't. He fled out of the fear of dying in said war. Now, I'm not saying he should have ran, but I mean, that's a reasonable fear. The problem is Robert had a younger brother named Michael, and since Robert fled to Canada, Michael took Robert's place to fight in the war. So of course, Michael was sent into combat during the Vietnam War, where he ended up losing both his arms and legs. Now, as you can imagine, when Robert found out about his brother losing all of his limbs, he went nuts. Thoroughly insane with guilt as one would. This led Robert to spend years constantly going in and out of psychiatric hospitals in Canada, but it also caused him to become obsessed with the Vietnam War. Eventually, Robert was contacted by people who worked for Lex Luthor. You see, Lex thought he could use Robert as a pawn in Superman's assassination. One of Luthor's employees, a man named Kimberly, then used Dubois' obsession with the Vietnam War to condition him psychologically into wanting to kill the Man of Steel, unjustly blaming Superman for what happened to his brother. But how the heck is a normal dude supposed to kill the Man of Steel when some of the most powerful characters in the DC universe can't? Well, Lex Luthor equipped him with some of the most advanced scientific weapons in the world, one of which included a gun that fired kryptonite needles. Robert then went to Metropolis, where he started shooting innocent people, saying, "Soft and wet and useless, all of you. Me and Mickey bought your liberty with our lives, and now you're just wasting the freedom me and my brother fought to earn." Which tells us he's entered full crazy town because Robert didn't fight in the war. He ran in fear to Canada. So he can't even say he fought for their freedom because, again, he ran away scared. After shooting up crowds of people, killing dozens, Superman shows up, but Bloodsport was prepared. He had the kryptonite needle gun given to him by Lex Luthor, which he used to shoot Superman, putting the big blue Boy Scout down for the count, giving Bloodsport the first round win. Now, let's take a second, because what's really cool is in the Suicide Squad trailer, the second one I believe, Amanda Waller says Bloodsport is in prison for putting Superman in the ICU by shooting him with a kryptonite bullet, which is obviously a callback to this very incident in the comics I'm talking about. And it just so happens to be his first appearance and first confrontation with Superman, or anyone for that matter. So I just think that's really cool. Anyway, back to the comic and Bloodsport's origin. After Bloodsport shot Superman, Jimmy Olsen was able to save Superman's life by picking up one of Bloodsport's weapons and holding him at gunpoint until Bloodsport used the smoke bomb to get away. Superman would soon recover and be back on his feet, while Lex Luthor was pissed that Bloodsport killed so many innocent people. That's right, even Lex Luthor was like, why the heck are you killing innocent people for no reason? And tried to go after Bloodsport, the crazed killer he set loose on Superman. Now, I didn't mention it earlier because I'm gonna talk about it in Powers and Abilities, but not only did Lex Luthor outfit Bloodsport with weapons, said weapons can be teleported to him on command, materializing in his hand when needed. But when round 2 happens between Bloodsport and Superman, Superman was able to cause Bloodsport's teleportation device to malfunction, meaning he had no high-tech weapons to fight the Man of Steel. So out of desperation, Bloodsport threatened to detonate his power pack, which could destroy everything in a 10-mile radius. But wouldn't you know it, Jimmy Olsen saves the day again as he managed to track down Michael Dubois, Robert's younger paraplegic brother. Michael is able to talk his brother down and convince him to stop fighting and surrender. The issue ends with Bloodsport crying in his brother's chest while Jimmy Olsen explains to Superman who Robert aka Bloodsport is and what he's gone through. Now that's Bloodsport's original origin, but it was recently tweaked and updated a bit in issue 5 of the 2021 Suicide Squad title. It's literally recapped to us within the first 2 pages of issue 5. Robert tells us, my brother, Mickey, and I grew up dreaming of one thing, and only one thing, war. And as soon as he turned 18, Mickey enlisted. And me, I ran. I wasn't brave like him or strong like him. Mickey died defending our freedom. And the day he went into the ground, in his honor, I became Bloodsport. As we see Bloodsport shoot Superman with a kryptonite gun. His captions go on to say, the doctors in Belle Reve tell me my grief over the loss of my brother drove me over the edge. But all I ever wanted was to fight for freedom, for my brother. And for this, I was imprisoned. Now I've been forced to become a member of the Suicide Squad. I am trained in every form of combat, and when my fists aren't enough, I have an ace in the hole. I have the ability to teleport weapons as needed, and Waller has given me an unlimited supply. So I am a one-man Suicide Squad, which is good because I work best alone. Waller has sent me to different Earths in order to bring back intel about the multiverse, and when the opportunity arises to recruit more cannon fodder for her squad. She even gave me this funny helmet and suit to protect my brain from melting from interdimensional travel. Every Earth I visit has different vibrations, so without this gift from Waller, I'd be dead. And just like that, we have Bloodsport's modern origin, which was literally given to us like a month ago when issue 5 of Suicide Squad came out. It's no doubt to make the comic version of Bloodsport be more in line with the live-action version of him played by Idris Elba in the Suicide Squad. They even gave him the same looking costume that he has in the movie and explained it as a gift from Waller as a way to protect his brain and body from interdimensional travel. Which is kind of clever, and I definitely don't mind because I think this new look is way better than his original. I mean, that skull xenomorph looking helmet is pretty freaking dope. Also in this updated origin, his brother Michael, now Mickey, died instead of just losing his limbs. And after attacking Superman, he's been recruited by Waller, just like in the movie. But now that you know both Bloodsport's origins, it's time to talk about his powers and abilities. Robert Dubois is a normal human, meaning he has no superpowers, but he's been shown to be formidable in hand-to-hand combat, who is in excellent physical shape. But besides being in great shape and a fearless fighter, what really gives him the upper hand, and even made him a force for Superman, is the fact that he's in possession of a device that allows him to teleport high-tech weaponry straight to his hand from a distant location instantaneously. These weapons are so advanced, Superman has even said that Bloodsport's arsenal is extra-dimensional both in quality and quantity. Even though he's just a normal human, he's incredibly strong and definitely more durable than your average person. His reflexes are also at peak level, on par with that of Deadshot. And just like Deadshot, he's one of the best shooters in all of DC with a variety of weapons, not just handguns. All I'm saying is he's a pretty dope character, and he and Deadshot need to have a team-up book. That would be amazing. With that said, let's leave you with some Bloodsport reading recommendations. Check out Superman Volume 2, Issue 4, the 2021 Suicide Squad title, Superman 652, and Superman 692. That should be enough to get you all started. And that's going to bring today's episode of Variant to a close. But if you like today's video, as always, check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the channel out. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.